She was 25, going on 26 later in the month. She was a nursing student at Jefferson State Community College, and she also worked part-time at a spa in Birmingham. So now the date of the incident. It was a Thursday evening, July 13th, 2023. And she had just finished her work for the evening at the spa. It was about 8:20 when she left. She headed over to a Mediterranean restaurant to pick up some dinner for herself and her mother. Then she stopped in at Target and bought some granola bars and Cheez-Its, and she sat in the car a little bit. And then she left the parking lot and started heading to her home. At 9:35 p.m., she was on the I-459 in the town of Hoover, the town that she lives in. And she called 911 to tell them that as she was driving, she saw a male toddler walking alone on the side of the interstate, wearing just a diaper, and he appeared to be lost. And she told the operator that she would stay with the child until help arrived. Next, she called her brother's girlfriend to tell her the same story. And while she was on the phone with the girlfriend, she said she was getting out of the car and she was going to approach the child. And then the girlfriend heard Carlee scream, and the connection was lost. So the police arrived on the scene within 5 minutes, and all they saw was Carlee's car. It was still running. They didn't see Carlee, they didn't see a child, they did not see anyone. Her belongings were still there, like her purse, her cell phone, her wig. The food was missing. And they asked around for some witnesses if did anyone see anything. A witness said that he thought he saw a light-complected man standing next to Carlee's car, but other She's my life. She's our baby girl. Irreplaceable, irreplaceable. We are keeping the faith. End quote. An anonymous donor offered $20,000 for the safe return of Carlee. $63,000 was immediately raised by the nonprofit Crime Stoppers of Central Alabama to be given to anyone who had clues into her disappearance. And multiple agencies in the state of Alabama, along with the FBI, Secret Service, and the U.S. Marshal, they all began working together to try to find Carlee. Like, this was a very big deal, what had happened. Now, on Saturday, July 15th, which was 2 days after she went missing, Carlee's family was at home when they heard a knock on the front door. It was Carlee. She had walked up to the door on her own. She was alone. She appeared very shook. Like the mother said, she did not, start questioning her immediately. Instead, they brought her right to the hospital to be checked out. And she had been gone for 48 hours. And she was released from the hospital. She was basically okay. The Hoover Police Department held another press conference, and the police chief, who was named Nicholas Durzis, he spoke and he said the following, quote, "She told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She said when she got out of the vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claimed he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She said there was also a woman there, but she never saw the woman. She only heard the woman's voice." He went on to say that, quote, "She told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the man had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said he did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair but could not remember anything else. At some point she was put back in a vehicle. She claims she was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence." End quote. Detectives detectives noticed that she had a small injury to her lip and a tear in her shirt. She claimed that her head hurt, and she had $107 in cash in her right sock. So now it was all well and good that she was home, safe and sound, so it seemed, but that doesn't mean that the investigation was over. So they dove into the case, and they found that the surveillance cameras on the interstate showed no toddler and no other person near Carlee's car the night she disappeared. It appears that she had pulled over and she had exited the car out of the driver's side and then walked around to the back and then to the passenger side. They also had surveillance video of her the night she returned, walking down the sidewalk on her own street, alone. They checked the data on her cell phone and they found some very curious things. In the days and the hours before she went missing, she had researched certain topics, such as the movie, which is called Taken, which is about an abduction. She searched the question, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? She searched how to take money from a register without being caught. She searched the Birmingham bus station, one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville, and the maximum age of an Amber Alert. Well, if that doesn't tell you all you need to know, then I don't know what does. But of course that's not enough, so there is more. They found out that the night that she left work, it could be seen on their cameras that she had taken toilet paper and a bathrobe. And those items were not found in her abandoned car. So she had them with her when she was missing. And they spoke to friends of hers from the area. These friends had gone to high school with her. And they said that it was not the first time that she had faked an abduction. I wish I knew more about that. I wish I could talk to those friends and say, tell me more, but that's all I got. And she was described by them as entitled and spoiled. I would also like to know more about that. Now, with all this evidence, later in the month, Carlee Russell ultimately admitted that she had faked the abduction, and there was never any child, no toddler, and that nobody had helped her at all. There was nobody else involved with this scheme other than herself. Her lawyer prepared a statement which was read by the police chief at a press conference, and it said that she was very sorry for what she had done. She apologized to everyone. And it said, quote, "There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies, as well, and to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carlee never said where she was, though. And we do not know. We still don't know where she was, as far as I'm aware. She turned herself in at the police station, and she was charged with falsely reporting to law enforcement officers and falsely reporting an incident, both of which are misdemeanors. She was immediately released on bail. Now, both of these misdemeanors have a maximum sentence of up to a year and a fine of up to $6,000. Now, let me tell you a little bit about a woman named Angela Harris. She was a woman who led the charge to find Carlee and bring her home when she went missing. Now, Angela's own daughter, Anaya Blanchard, was abducted and murdered in 2020. When Angela was actually searching for her own daughter a few years ago, she heard Anaya's voice saying, "Mom, please don't let this happen to anybody else." And Angela responded out loud and said, "Baby, I won't." Unfortunately, it did not turn out well for Angela Harris and her daughter Anaya, but some good came from it in that Angela founded Anaya's Heart, a non-profit organization that provides resources to assist families searching for a missing loved one. Now, Carlee's friends and family had reached out to Angela Harris when she went missing and asked her to come and help, and she did. When she heard that the whole thing was a hoax, she said, quote, "I've really just been basically speechless. To be honest, I'm just trying to be classy and neutral, because something is telling me in my spirit that that's the way I need to be. Of course, deep down inside, I'm very angry. I do not regret anything at all," end quote. So she was saying that even though it turned out to be a hoax, she doesn't regret having helped, and she had said that she would do it all over again. Now, Carlee had a boyfriend at the time that she went missing. It was a boyfriend that she'd had for 5 years. And when she first went missing, he was panicked, just like everyone else. And when she was found, he was extremely relieved, and he felt that she had suffered for 48 hours. He had reached out to the internet and asked them to stop cyberbullying her at first. But when he found out that she lied, he felt differently. She didn't tell him personally that she lied. He found out just like everyone else. And he's been interviewed since that time, and he had stated that he doesn't plan on speaking to her anymore. They have broken up. He was not involved. He had no idea she was going to do this. He didn't help her, and he doesn't know why she did it. He said that their relationship didn't have anything going on that would have led up to such an event. Now, Carlee wound up being fired from her job at the spa after they found out that it was a hoax. She brought a lot of bad publicity to their spa as well. People were writing bad reviews once they realized that Carlee had worked there. On October 11th of 2023, Carlee Russell entered a not guilty plea in municipal court, but she was found guilty by a judge, no jury, just a judge, who recommended up to a year in jail and ordered her to pay $800 was not actually abducted and that she is safe and sound. Okay, so having said that, first question I have is why? And we don't know. She has not said why she did this. Just like she didn't say where she had been. So we are left to guess. Maybe more will come out when she has the next trial. But what could it possibly be? It's not one of these psychotic episodes, okay? Nobody is suggesting that it is. But her lawyer is saying she has issues, okay? So we get it. She has some issues, and that is why she did it. So what are the issues? Well, I mean, it is interesting that her high school acquaintances or friends said that she had done this before. Does everybody know about that? Did her parents know? Did the police know? Did anyone involved in the search, did any of these people know that she had faked an abduction before? I mean, I imagine it was a much smaller scale operation previously, that it didn't involve any authorities, but still, the information is relevant. So, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that she was looking for attention, like in a very, very pathological way. And that she honestly believed that she could get away with this, that she could fake this whole abduction, even calling 911 and involving the police. She could fake this, she could come home, and that would be the end of it. People would just believe her story, and they would all feel bad for her, and she could ride on that victim card for as long as it lasted. That's literally all I can come up with. Almost like a Munchausen syndrome to some extent, looking for that attention and that sympathy, but in a different way. So, unfortunately for her, it didn't work out like that, and the truth came out. And now her reputation is absolutely destroyed, and she's facing criminal charges. So while she had, pretty bright looking future before this happened, she was in school to become a nurse. I am pretty sure she's not going to become a nurse anymore. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really sure, actually. But I'm not thinking that a lot of hospitals would want to hire her, knowing what went on in her past. And even if she thought she was going to get away with it, did she think about the people who she would be hurting? Did she have any idea what it might feel like to be a parent and to truly believe that your child has been abducted? I don't want to know what that feels like, but I know that it is one of the worst feelings out there. So she put her parents through that, and her boyfriend, and I'm sure other people who loved her as well. She scared the whole community assuming that she is found guilty. How can she not be found guilty? Seriously, how? It's really going to just be an issue of what the penalty will be. I don't think that the new trial will come out with not guilty, but who knows? So anyway, what should the punishment be? First of all, the money. Okay, I don't think that the lawyer was arguing the money, and that sounds like a pretty low figure if you ask me, because I am sure that it cost a lot more than, what was it, almost $18,000 for all the man hours, the hours that people, working people are getting paid by the hour. The police and anyone who is doing it as their job, they're all paid to do it, and that had to come to more than this number, I would think. But what about jail time? Does she need jail time? Well, I don't feel that she is a danger to society, but does she need some jail time as punishment, and to show other people that they should not try to do this, that there will be jail time? Maybe. I think maybe not a year. Maybe a month, something, so she knows that what she did was terrible. Now, do we think that the fact that she has cried wolf like this, has that set back other victims of abduction? Will people in that area be a little less likely to believe that someone is truly in danger? Will they not act as quickly? Will they not bring in the FBI as quickly? Is trust eroded at this point? Has it done that much damage? I am gonna say maybe for some people, but overall I would say no, it's just one person, And then the last question I have is, where could she have possibly gone during those 2 days? If she wasn't in a hotel, she wasn't in the woods, because I assume the search parties would have found her if she was there. So where could she have been? I have no idea whatsoever. I mean, she had her snacks with her, she had her Cheez-Its and her granola. She had a bathrobe and she had some toilet paper, so I'm assuming she was planning on going to the bathroom in the woods or something, that's why she had toilet paper. The bathrobe was maybe